All right, this is the final good on that last table I was working on. My best-selling piece is about an 8-foot table, so that's what I'm gonna look for. This is a nice-looking slab, and looks like it's in the ballpark. It's 40 inches wide there. I'm looking for something around 42-ish. So this is a good start. This doesn't really have good lines for me. I don't really like the way it looks. It's got some rot issues, but that looks like that could be solved with some resin. That might turn out really nice right in there with some turquoise. That's a lot of shatter down at that end of the log. See where the water got out fast and caused a lot of splitting along that end. I don't mind using that. It doesn't really bother me. Most people don't know what it is. It's not really that much of a defect. It's 90 inches to here. That's still a pretty good sized table. Although I don't like that line on this side. I'm thinking that this might be the edge of our table right there on one side. And maybe this for the other. Knock this off. All right. In here you can see the curl right in there. It's a real curly right in there. That's going to be real pretty. No worries about critters. 1, 2, 3. Okay. That weighs about 300 pounds, wouldn't you say? 75, 80-year-old tree. Had a big limb coming out the side here. We're going to do away with that part of it, or else I'm going to add a piece in here. I haven't decided which. I might add a piece right in here. There'll be a butterfly here. And probably straight line that across there, because this will have a straight line here, so we'll need some straight lines on the other side to balance. I'm going to make an attempt to figure out how wide this thing is going to be. I got a lot of these little rulers around. Let's see how. This will be half the table. 21 to make it a 42. 42 is pretty popular. I don't think I'll go over that. I think 42 is what we need. I use ink pens for my marking, not pencils. One of the reasons is they're a real fine point, and they makes it more accurate. I'll make a line in line with the way I want it to cut, and then a little angle thing that helps me identify where my line is. So I make a little line and then a little thing, because when you remove this, just a line kind of disappears. And so I got a little line there. I'm 21, so I kind of want to be around 21 down here. So. Almost done. All right, this is the final good on that last table I was working on. So when I work a piece up, it is rough. Rough sawn from the sawmill. So you've got bandsaw marks, you've got board reaction to drying, you can curl, it can twist, it can cup. And so all of those things need to be mitigated. That's why I cut it 3.5 inches, because black walnut, though very forgiving, even so, 3.5 inches doesn't cover all things, because some trees have a twist, and a twist is a problem waiting to happen when you make lumber. So it's okay to cut a twisted log. You just won't get long boards out of it. You'll have to be satisfied with short things. So on the progress from my production shop here, I first surface it. You've seen the surfacing machine. And that leaves a bunch of rainbow cutter marks from the router. Those can be taken off. I choose to use a 50 grit. It's real aggressive, and I always start on the back first, because once I've got the face semi-good, I don't want to put it down on any surface ever again. So I'll start with the back, and I'll knock it out with some filler and make it look presentable. Main thing is to make it so that the places where the base attaches is all good solid wood, so any remediation you have to do with epoxy, that's the time to do it. Then sand it. I only sand it to 220, so I'll put it on the stroke sander, do the initial wipe out with the 50, and then maybe some more fill, because that kind of always reveals some more holes. And then I'll put on the 80 grit and knock that down, then some more fill, and then the 220 grit. So after the 220 grit, I fill it some more, because every time you fill it, every time you sand it, you find new issues. It's because of the figure of the wood. You see, all of these are little cracks and stuff that get revealed once you can see them past all the haze and all the dirt that accumulates on them for 3.5 years. So after you get all that, 220 grit, now you're going to go backwards. I'm going to go back to 180 grit, because 220 grit on a little Rotex orbital sander that rotates and doesn't just vibrate, that 220 grit small pad will wear out way too fast to cover all of the things that the 50 or the 80 left. So you got to have that extra bite. So 180 takes care of all the marks that you see, and then you hit it with 220, and you take care of anything that you missed, and you'll always find some. And then you fill again, because you always have to keep at it on an open pore wood like this. So I don't try to fill the pores, but I do make sure I fill all of the discrepancies here. So now that I've sanded with 180, 220, I have finished my last fill. I knock off those epoxy things that I had to fill with the last 220, and then I come in with 320, and you will still find marks that you missed. And I roll my sander on the edge here with the 180 in order to make a friendly edge so that it doesn't kind of catch your clothes or something. And there it is.